Blessings, beautiful being. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Sending you so much love, so much light, and so much strength on this beautiful spiritual journey. And in this video, I want to talk about the number one concept and the most important concept that I have learned in the past year. And that is to stay in the I am. Stay in the I am presence. Now, this has many names. We could say that stay in the flow, stay in the eye of the storm, stay in the stillness, or have an empty mind. It's all the same idea. But basically, what this concept means, it's a very high level of consciousness. When you're at this level, you're vibrating very high. And there isn't really anything that's in the mind. For example, as I'm speaking to you, my mind is empty. I don't have any thoughts. This is possible for you as well. It took time to train this. So first of all, why is this important? I'm going to try to persuade you to get to this plan and get to this state. The reason why this is so important is because all of your problems, all of them, come from the mind. Like Eckhart Tolle says, you don't have any problems. And this is not just Eckhart Tolle, by the way. It's every spiritual teacher who's been teaching the right things. They say that you don't have any problems. The ego has problems. The problems are your life situation, your life circumstances. But the soul, the I am, doesn't have any problems. And the way you can know that you are the I am is if you ask yourself enough times, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? You're not the ego. How can you be the ego if you can observe the ego? How can you be this physical person here if you can go to the bird's eye view, almost like astral project, and see yourself speaking? For example, how can I be this person here if I can be up there at the same time as I'm speaking to you? It doesn't make any sense. So what if all of your problems would be vanished? Whether it's relationships, whether it's health, whether it's money. So let me give you some practical examples. With myself, that's how I live this. That's how I teach. I preach what I live. So relationships. First of all, not with my twin flame. Haven't spoken with her for 1 year. It doesn't really bother me. I'm not with anybody else. Some people have tried to come into my circle, but I don't like their energy, so then I block them. Or some people come into my life for a period of time, but then they leave. Money. I don't have any money. In fact, to share something funny, right now I'm pretty sure I have €0 in my bank account. I spent the last 41 cents I had in candy. I have no money. But how do I feel? I feel just fine. I feel the same. In fact, I feel better than when I felt, or the soul feels the same. Ego feels worse. When I was making more money, I was making like 20K per month, for example, or even 10K more, 5K per month. Whatever, any money I was making, I felt better. The ego felt better. Again, not I, but the ego felt better, right? But you get what I mean. We get this mixed up. The second thing is, or third thing, health. I'm not the healthiest right now either. But again, that is the physical body. I can transcend that for now as I don't have any money to do anything for my health. I have to eat the fucking hospital crap food. That's all. So, and of course I do my things. For example, I have to share this. This is just my own thing. I have to share for some reason. I've started to steal, and this is not okay. Sharing this doesn't make it okay. But just to share like how bad my situation has become is I've had to steal food. Mainly food that I've stolen, some other things that have stolen. For example, I tried to get a better web camera, which wasn't better than this that I stole, just to get that off my chest so I don't feel so much shame and guilt for the situation that I'm in and for the actions that I take, because I like to be a person who doesn't sin, right? So this is, again, and this is something like most people would not admit, but I have to admit, I can't lie, or I can't have these truths just on myself, hold them close to me. I have to share. Well, basically, that's the three things that I can share from my own life. I'm very, very sure that you have similar situations in your life, if not the same, especially in the relationships area. That can be transcended. I'm going to teach you how. So it's very simple. Spend as much as your time, or all of your time, all your days, in the I am. And this is a very particular state of being. When you get to this, it's like you know you're there, you know you're home. It's in the center point, middle of yourself. And your third eye is also activated when you're in this. Your third eye is pulsating when you're in this. So the easiest way to teach this is simply help you get into this present state more. So let's try it. Take a deep breath in first of all, and then out when you're through your nose, out through the mouth. And right now, you might have some thoughts. And I'm purposely making this go slower, because when this is going slower, that's when you can observe. That's when you can get into the I am presence. So right now, observe what is happening. Do you have any thoughts? Do you have any emotions? Any sensations? For example, with me, I felt shame and guilt for sharing what I just shared. I'm like, Klaus, you're supposed to be a spiritual master. Why do you steal? Klaus, that's not okay. That's the inner voice, and I have to give that space. I'm like, that's okay. I understand. But then the other part of me is like, well, you don't understand. That's the inner conflict. You don't understand. I was put into a mental hospital. I didn't want to be here. I don't get any support from the government either, because it goes straight to my person who takes care of my finances. And for some reason, I agreed for that as well. It's a long story. Victim mentality for sure. And that's okay. So observing that. But again, when you're in this, and so I'm not the person who's ashamed. I'm the one observing the shame, observing the part of me that is feeling ashamed of and feeling guilty. This is the biggest thing. We think that we are it. We're not it. You're not it. You're the one observing it. So whatever came up for you, can you observe that? And without judging or labeling us good or bad, can you simply observe it? And when you observe it, can you create some space between it and you? Can you take some distance between it and you? If you can, and you can, then that's what I'm talking about. This is the I am presence. And what you want to do then is in your daily life, every single day, as you're just walking, as you're in the supermarket, as you're eating, Spend as much time in the I am presence. Now, warning. What is going to happen as you spend more time in this, because this is a very high level of consciousness. You're in the spiritual realms right now. We are in the spiritual realms right now. You want to integrate, you want to ground yourself, and I have to be honest, I'm not the best at this. I can't give the best advice when it comes to this, because still I haven't been able to ground myself either. It's just something in the spiritual always pulls me. I have to go there. But then I have these things. Health-wise, I didn't mention that I have this weird itch/pain that I've had. I don't feel it really now when I'm in the flow state. But basically that I've had now for a long time, for 5 months. And I think it's Kundalini related. My root chakra is very imbalanced, but I don't know how to block it or unblock it or open it. But just know that what's happening when you do this exercise every single day, or even now, a lot of light is flowing through. Your crown chakra is opening. So then, at the same time as the light comes to your being, some darkness will also come up. Some gunk will come up. Your shadows will come up. So be prepared for that. But even as the shadows come up, are you able to stay as the witness? Are you able to just observe? And we can't always, I'm going to be honest again, we can't always do this. We're learning this just now. Sometimes we go to our habits, bad habits. I have them still. I'm like, I should have done this already. I should have ascended all these things. But no, it's not always like that. We're human beings for a reason. We're human first. We have a animalistic side of us as well that we cannot always control. But when we go again, even when you go to your bad habits, and this is what I have to learn as well more, I'm teaching myself here, can you observe yourself? For example, with me, if and when I watch porn, which is, again, time is going to come someday, hopefully not soon. I have a weird relationship with it. It's so weird. Like, yeah, let's just say when and if I do it again, because I'm not in a relationship, I have to get somewhere in my fucking sexual energy. So, can I and could you, for example, stay as the witness when we do these bad, quote unquote, bad habits? But even when we see bad, it's giving it so much power. So a better word would be just habits. Because this is what I learned from Osho, is that it's human being, this is human nature. We like to swing the pendulum from the other side all the way to the other side. Back and forth. Here is, I'm going to be a monk. I'm not going to masturbate. I'm not going to watch porn. I'm not going to steal. I'm not going to have sex with multiple women. In my case, I'm going to be married. I'm not going to have sex before marriage. Or here is a playboy and all these things. We don't have anything in between. Okay, like I'm a simple man, all these things. What's the in between? There isn't anything in between. But then Osho, what Osho talks about is the way to kind of overcome this is allow the pendulum to swing all around. So if it's here, allow the momentum to be there. Don't judge, just allow it to be there. Don't try to change things, just allow. And then it will naturally swing the other way. And then naturally the momentum will ding, 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 get less and less and less and less. That's all. That is all when it comes to the I am presence. I hope that this was helpful. I hope it also me sharing some of these things, some more human parts of me is helpful, because that is needed in this world. Everybody's so busy just making a self-image for themselves on Instagram. Oh, I'm so perfect. I've never been about that. Like, I'm not perfect. I have flaws, and that is it. That's the end of conversation. So I hope that this helps. Subscribe if you're new. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.